Hello everyone and welcome back to a new week of Road to TCG Worlds 2016. Now, the new set not only brought new cards into the fray like Greninja Break and Trevenant Break, it also brought a lot of new tools for various other decks, such as Night March. So, before I go into the deck, as you might notice, down here below the championship point count, there is a new partnership with the site bitcultures.com. If you guys are interested in anything related to video games or technology or TCG and video game in terms of Pokemon, you should definitely check that site out because all my videos, all my English videos will be getting published there, and they also do a lot of video game reviews and things like that in both article kind of things and also in video style. And I know they want to bring a lot of new Pokemon content into the fray, and I'm guessing I will not be the only one producing Pokemon content for them. So definitely check them out. Their link will be in the description down below, so you can check them out. And it's really simple. bitcultures.com. So, having said that, I really want to thank them for the opportunity and for this partnership. I'm sure we will both work and produce a lot of great things. And finally, thank you to Eric Young, who was the person whom I've been in contact with and who was the one who made this happen. So, without further ado, let's get into the deck, shall we? Now, it is a standard Night March. Honestly, Night March is probably one of the most consistent decks right now in terms of like simplicity, I guess. There are a few variations you can do, like Milotic and No Puzzle of Time or Puzzle of Time and things like that. So I won't spend too much time invested in the deck list. We all know what Pumpkaboo does. It does Night March for 3 colorless energy, but thanks to Dimensional Valley, we only need 1 DC to do so. We have the 4 Joltik as our other Night Marcher attacker, and with Fighting Fury Belt, it now becomes a 70 HP monster, which 70 HP is obviously not a lot of HP, but it saves Joltik from Crobat drops and like getting sniped too easily. So I think it will be quite game breaking, the Fighting Fury Belt in this deck. And we have our 4 Lampent, which are just here to get discarded, and our reliable 3 Shaymin EX this time. Not 2, but 3, because this deck really needs to get through pretty much at least have your deck on the first turn to really get going and really get the deck running. So we have 4 Acrobike, the standard, 4 Battle Compressor, 100% absolutely mandatory. Anything running less than 4 Battle Compressor, any Night March running less than 4 Battle Compressor is a bad Night March list, as simple as that. We have the 4 Ultra Ball. For consistency purposes, allows us to discard our Night Marchers as well and fetch our Shaymins. For Trainer's Mail, to dig out all of these useful trainer cards. And for Verseeker to use all of our supporters. Now, the new additions to the deck are the Buddy Rescue, which I do know all of the lists run this now because it's a better revive. It allows you to combo Battle Compressor with Shaymin and then Buddy Rescue. It provides you with an extra attacker in a pinch. And before it used to be a revive, but Buddy Rescue is 100% so much better, even with the benefit that it gives your opponent an extra basic Pokemon, or an extra Pokemon rather. And the most important card, Puzzle of Time. When you play 2 of these cards at once, you are able to select any 2 cards from your discard pile and put them into your hand. That is absolutely broken. Like, I cannot explain to you. The only thing that can compare to this is Milotic's ability, which is a stage 1 that evolves from a 30 HP basic Pokemon. Now, the drawback of having to have both of them in your hand is pretty much like you don't have to deal with it that much in this deck because A, you don't run a heavy Sycamore count, so you don't necessarily have to discard it. Its effects, if you only play 1, is still pretty good. Manipulating your top deck is always pretty good. And you have teammates. When Since you have low HP Pokemon, they will get KO'd pretty quickly, and with a teammates, you can actually use Puzzle of Time and your teammates becomes any 2 cards from your discard pile. That is pretty huge. I think it's going to be the most important card in the games we are going to play throughout this week. And finally, we have a startling Megaphone, because there are a lot of Fighting Fury belts, there are a lot of Mega Pokemon, so Spirit Links are abundant, but especially Fighting Fury belt. So the startling Megaphone is definitely almost necessary in order to secure KOs, because now EX Pokemon are having over 200 HP, so you might miss out on some KOs because of that. And we have 3 Fighting Fury belt ourselves in order to increase the HP of Joltik, and anytime a Joltik gets attacked and doesn't get KO'd, that's a huge turn of events for the deck, because you are effectively trading a really simple basic for probably an EX Pokemon or potentially 2 of them. So Fighting Fury belt is here to absolutely change the dynamic of how decks deal with Night March. And aside from that, we have the 2 Floatstone in order to retreat our Shamans or potentially Pumpkaboos, and 4 Dimension Valley to ensure Pumpkaboo never requires us to attach 2 DCEs to it. Now, as far as supporters go, it's pretty simple. 2 Sycamore, because we do have a huge item-based engine, which does makes us prone to, like, really weak it makes us really weak to Trevenant item locking decks. Not so much against Seismitoad, because you will always get at least 1 turn free of the lock. And we have 1 Lysandre, 1 Hex Maniac, 1 Teammates, and 1 Xerosic in order to abuse our versus Seeker, and the fact that we have such a reliable item-based engine that we can afford to play more utility supporters instead of having to Sycamore every turn. And finally, we have our 4 double colorless energy, which are the ones we use to attack every single turn, and we use to power up our Pokemon. And we can get them back with Puzzle of Time now, so there's no need to focus on Milotic on getting them back, or having an extra Bronzong line and extra energy. So, I know that was a pretty quick review, but I'm pretty sure everybody at this point, unless you're really, really new to the game, everybody knows what Night March does. So let's get right into the games, shall we? Let's get right into the games. I'm really excited to feature a lot of these updated lists for the decks. Night March won the poll by a landslide, and that's something else I want to tell you guys. From now on, the poll to decide what deck I use during the week will be going up on Twitter, because Twitter has a really simple poll function and really useful, and it notifies me when the time is up. Whereas the straw poll I used to do, all the polls are still running and people can still vote on them. Obviously nobody is voting on them, but they could also be, I guess, a bit manipulated. So if you want to participate in deciding what deck I get to use during next week, you should definitely check out or follow me on Twitter, because I will be posting the polls on Wednesdays. And I was saying I'm surprised Night March won by a landslide, because last time around, before I featured Night March for the first time in the channel, I kept putting it in the polls and it kept on not getting voted on, so that really surprised me. Now we are up against a Greninja deck, which I'm really happy to feature this matchup, because I believe it is very 50-50. And given our starting hand, I'm really grateful of the extra mulligan cards, because of the fact that I had a lot of setup with the battle compressors, but I really had nothing else beyond that. But now at least I have a DCE, so I will be able to get a first turn KO onto that Miltank, and I can even play the Hex Maniac to potentially delay an artillery drop next turn. And I might need to actually attack with Joltik instead of Pumpkaboo, because I do not have the Dimensional Valley yet. Now, he gets a turn 1 artillery, which is pretty sick. Not gonna lie, it's pretty sick. Which definitely tempts me to use the Hex Maniac. But I'm also glad he attached to Miltank. That's one less energy he has access to, like potential access to. And we're gonna find out our prices here. At least our Night Marcher prices. Now, I did see a Joltik. There's 2 Joltiks, 3 Lampens, and 1 Pumpkaboo, 2 Pumpkaboo, 2, 2, 3. 2, 2, 4. 4 Joltik, 4 Pumpkaboo. So no Night Marchers are priced, which is obviously good news. Now I see 2 double colorless energy, and that's it. So there is 1 double colorless energy priced, and I really want to find out. Okay, there's the Rosic, there's Lysandre. Looks like Teammates. Yeah, Teammates is priced, and something else is priced, I believe. But for now, we're just gonna discard these guys. Oh no, I have the Hex Maniac in my hand. So I might want to consider running a Judge instead, or like in replacing something, but I'm not entirely sure which Pokemon. Now, I do want to get rid of Joltiks primarily because Pumpkaboo seems a lot more useful this time around, especially because of Greninja's ability. But Pumpkaboo does mean I have to rely on getting the item lock going. But here I thankfully have the Floatstone, I have the Joltik, I now have 6 Night Marchers in my discard pile, so I'm going to be dealing 130 damage to this Miltank, and that is also enough damage to actually KO a Greninja. So not a Greninja break, but a regular Greninja. And my Joltik has 70 HP, so I'd say I'm in a pretty good position. I didn't play the Hex Maniac because I think it'll be really important to chain Hex Maniacs in the following turns, and thankfully a Berserker was my prize. But he has the Starling Megaphone, so that's definitely not good at all for us. But it looks like he doesn't have too good a hand. If he paralyzes us, he paralyzes us, but it wouldn't be the end of the world. His extra card might have been the Wally, so that was definitely very lucky for my opponent, if that was the case, because he gets to pull off the water duplicates. I think he might have precipitated himself a little bit by using the Wally on turn 1 onto the artillery, but I can see the reasoning behind that. Now, a single water energy destroys my Joltik, but Joltik will have gotten 2 prize cards, so it's not terrible, and my opponent probably doesn't have too good a hand, so the Hex Maniac will delay his artillery and will make it so that he requires an energy and a Greninja to KO Joltik, whereas otherwise this Joltik might grab a 3rd prize all on its own, and he cannot win next turn by evolving into something like Greninja XY, using the ability, KOing the Joltik, and then using another Greninja XY and KOing me or something like that. He does get the Muscle Band. He is going to Energy Retrieval, which I don't agree with because... oh no, never mind. He doesn't have abilities. And he's going to Sycamore, so he has the Sycamore, and he had a Berserker and a Lysandre and the other energy. So he will most likely, yeah, he gets the Dive Ball, so he will get the Greninja. But the Joltik in the discard pile means we get to actually KO the Greninja. But if he gets another Greninja, he wins because he will bench us out. So... yeah, not the best start for us in terms of supporters, but I don't think I can do much else. Like, the best top deck I could get right now would be Unknown Trouble to get a Shaman, but I get a Battle Compressor. Okay, Battle Compressor means I can get a Sycamore in my discard pile, which I probably should have done earlier. But it also means no Hex Maniac. So what do I do here? I have the KO on the Greninja, right? There are 7 Night Marchers in my discard pile. So I definitely do that. But if he gets another Greninja and another Greninja of this guy's, he wins. Or if he gets the XY, he uses the ability and has an energy, he also wins. He didn't return the energy though, so... Oh boy, I'm really confused here. I think I should Sycamore. I really think I should Sycamore. Despite the fact that Hex Maniac looks really attractive right now, I think I should Sycamore. And I'm not gonna discard any more Night Marchers actually, because I will get... Oh man, are both my... Oh man, that's what's prized. Both my Sycamores are prized. What? Both my... Oh man. Okay, so I'm definitely gonna have to play the X-Maniac now. I guess I'll get rid of the Lysandre. Yeah, the Lysandre. Oh, come on, guys. Come on. Are you freaking serious? I was wondering what I was missing. I guess I'll get rid of the other power compressor. Oh, how can... Is that serious? Like, my prize can be a Sycamore, and I have a 50-50 chance to get a Sycamore of my prizes, but I also have a pretty big chance to lose next turn. I also have a pretty big chance to lose next turn. Oh boy. This is going to be a great week, isn't it? You know it's going to be a great week when on your first turn of the game, you are actually, or rather on the first game of the week, you prize both your Sycamores. Okay, and I don't get the Sycamore. So do I lose now? Do I lose? There's the energy. There's a Trainer's Mail. There's a Versus Seeker, so he gets out to pull off a Sycamore. There's a Versus Seeker. So it comes down to... Oh, he gets the wall. Yeah, that's for sure. So does he have another Shadow Stitching Greninja? Oh, he has the Sacred Ash. So he's going to beat me. Wow. Okay, I'm going to concede because this will only delay the inevitable. Oh boy. Yeah, Sycamore was the play. Wait. Sycamore was the play every single time. Why won't it let me concede? But this is pretty dumb. I mean, it happens. It's very unlikely that freaking I prize both Sycamores, but anyways, not much I can do about that. So let's focus and let's move on to the next game. That's really what you have to do. Thankfully, regionals and states are best of 3, so you can come back from really weird situations that happen like that. Like, I would have rather prized 2 Night Marchers, 2 Lampents, instead of both Sycamores. I wouldn't mind prizing 1 Sycamore, but prizing both? Oh boy. Anyways, now we're up against Maxi, 493902, whatever that means. We win the flip, so I'm gonna choose to go first, which is sometimes not the best idea with Night March, honestly. I unfortunately mulligan despite having 11 basic Pokemon. And his deck showed Fighting, Psychic, and Colorless. So that probably means maybe Guard Jump of some sort. Our hand is not stellar, but I do have the Compressor and I do have Shaman, so that at least that helps us a bit. And we are going first, so we get to draw an extra card right now. We do have the Wild Compressor, we have a TCG, so things are looking okay for now. Things are looking okay for now. It's actually... Oh wow, I didn't pay attention to the Darkness deck. So going first is actually going to really suck. Okay. Oh wow, we're actually up against another Mexican. Another Mexican player. So I'm going to get rid of Lampent here. This is my first battle compressor. There's one Lampent. There's another. Oh no, that's not a Lampent. There's another Lampent. There's a Sycamore, so we know both are priced. We have one Lampent in our hand, so that's 3 Lampents, 2 Joltiks, and 2 Pumpkaboos. 223, 323, 333, 433, 443. So just the one Lampent priced. So I guess I'll get rid of a Pumpkaboo now because Joltiks are definitely better in this match, I guess, than Pumpkaboos because of weakness and because of like he's weak to lightning and I'm not weak to dark with that. I mean, I could have gone for a Joltik to get the Body Rescue to put it to use, but it's not the end of the world, I guess. I will attach this this Fighting Fury belt to potentially prevent a KO on my Pumpkaboo, but I think I definitely should have discarded. Wow, sorry, I should have discarded a Joltik with that compressor to get it back. I'm not going to play the Puzzle of Time or attach the DCE, so I'm just gonna play the Shaman for now. For 3 extra cards. I do get a Trainer's Mail and I get a Berserker, but that's of no use right now. Gonna keep the Acrobike, although no, I'm gonna get the Ultra Ball, and because of weakness, I don't think it'll be too important to get rid of Fighting Fury Belt, and I will put the Lampent in the discard pile. So I will get another Shaman. I could really consider playing the DCE, but if he attaches an energy and a muscle band, he KOs the Pumpkaboo, so that's definitely not good for us. I do get Puzzle of Time, so I can definitely pull off some combos here. I could get back the Battle Compressor and the Ultra Ball, but I think this is all I'm gonna do for now, and we'll see next turn what we really need to do, because using Puzzle of Time and not getting back a TCE could kind of hurt in the late game. I could also get back a Fighting Fury belt. Definitely should have played the Joltik though, that's another mistake I think. Should have played the Joltik down. Okay, he uses Trainer's Mail, doesn't get anything. Touches the Fighting Fury belt, so at least Pumpkaboo, we know it's going to survive the turn. But that Yveltal now has 170 HP, so it's going to be really hard to knock it out. It's going to be extremely hard to knock that Yveltal out. Now he flips heads on the bridge, we see Azarua. So what's the Psychic Pokemon and the Fighting Pokemon? Fighting Pokemon is Gallade. But what is the Psychic Pokemon? I have no idea. I really have no idea. But I think we're in an okay position. If I manage to KO this Yveltal, I'll be in an incredible position. But nothing is for certain as of now. There's the Maxi and the Gallade from my opponent. Yep, and a Darkness to be able to use Oblivion Wing as efficiently as possible, I guess. Oh, so it's a known actually. Known is the card that my opponent is using as its Psychic type. Oh boy. Now it's gonna be difficult to KO this Yveltal. I need 8 Night Marchers in my discard pile, but thankfully my Pumpkaboo survives, which is good. That is definitely good. And he attaches to Yveltal EX, so as long as I can trade 1 Night Marcher for Yveltal EX, I'm completely fine with the situation I'm in. I'm gonna use the Trainer's Mail. I'll keep the Acrobike, I guess. Let's see what we get off of the Acrobike. a dimensional volley, which we definitely need, and unfortunately we're well, I don't know. We get rid of a puzzle of time, but we needed that in order to guarantee that we can actually attack even. So I'm going to use puzzle of time by playing 2 copies. I'm going to get back the battle compressor and the Ultra Ball. And the Ultra Ball? No. And the Trainer's Mail. Or, no, the Starling Megaphone. The Starling Megaphone makes it easier for me to KO that Yveltal. Puts less pressure on me to KO it. So, how many... Okay, I have 3, so as long as I discard another 3, that's fine, because I will do exactly 130 HP of damage. So I can get rid of the Pumpkaboo. Here's 2 Pumpkaboos, there should be another one, and a Joltik, right? So I can also bench the Joltik I actually currently have, and I can attach the Fighting Fury belt to that. Oh, but I didn't discard the supporter. Oh, I didn't discard the Sycamore. I was really dumb. Ah, man, I'm thinking way too far ahead, and I'm not thinking too clearly. Ugh. I had to go for the Sycamore and discard the Joltik in order to be able to... Okay, that saves me from my complete another brain fart. But I should have gone the Sycamore, attached the Fighting Fury belt to Pumpkaboo, played the Sycamore, discarded the Joltik. I would have had enough basic Pokemon, and I would have had a fresh hand of 7 new cards. But that Shaman is going to be the lifesaver. That's definitely going to change things up a bit. Now he attaches the DC to Zorua. I don't mind trading a Pumpkaboo or a Joltik potentially for a Zorua, because afterwards Joltiks trade with Shamans or with Yveltal EX for a 2-for-1 price trade-off. So that's still okay, like it works in our advantage towards the late game. And the fact that we prevented the first turn KO on the Pumpkaboo, that's pretty important as well. Like, for the long game, that's going to matter a lot. Now, he does manage to get the Zoroark. It's going to be really important for me to get a double colorless energy next turn. It's not going to be game changing if I don't, but it's definitely going to be very important. Okay, so there's the KO on Pumpkaboo. That is fine, he over KO'd that thing, and his Yveltal made it so that he essentially attached his first turn energy onto the benched Yveltal. That's the only thing he accomplished with that. Okay, so I'm gonna attach the Fighting Fury belt to Joltik. I am going to bench this Joltik in order to maximize the cards I draw off of Shaman, because I really would like the DCE. Like, I think the DCE makes it so that we almost 100% sure win this match because of how the price trade-off will work. Now I get the DCE at the cost of my 4th puzzle of time, so we won't be getting anything back anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, that's 140 damage, minus the resistance, that's more than enough for Pumpkaboo to KO. He will KO me back. And now the question is, do I play the Hex Maniac? I think I do. Like, there's no drawback into not playing it. And I will use the Battle Compressor in order to play the Sycamore I had intended to do before in the discard pile, so that I have access to a fresh set of 7 cards next turn. And yeah, teammates. I forgot I had teammates in the deck as well. So teammates will guarantee 100% sure the double colorless energy. It'll be my last one though. So that's something really important to consider, because the last DCE is going to be in my prizes. So if I lose the Joltik, that's game. That is why the Fighting Fury belt is so important. I am going to play the Hex Maniac to prevent him from using any more Shamans or something like that. and I'm going to Night March here for the KO. Now, I will get this KO and then I will get another KO for 2 prices, so I have a 50-50 chance to get the last TCE off of my prices, and I also have Fighting Fury Belt to make Joltik not vulnerable to a Shaman EX KO, but he could definitely have either Zerosic or Megaphone. And that's the reason why I didn't attach the second Fighting Fury Belt. Because if he used Megaphone right now, he would get rid of both of them. But since I am delaying the attachments like once each, or like spacing them out, I am going to get that benefit. So he Lysandres the Joltik. I am perfectly fine with that because I conserve my DCE. That is perfectly, absolutely perfectly fine by me. Perfectly and absolutely fine by me. So I just need to count my Night Marchers in my discard pile. But once again, Shaman doesn't threaten Pumpkaboo, so as long as I can conserve this energy, like I just conserved the energy by his Lysandre. So that's pretty much, I think that's pretty much game. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's 8 Night Marchers in my discard pile. So that means I just need to discard one more, right? So I'm going to Acrobike, see what I get. I'll keep the Ultra Ball. And with the Ultra Ball, I can discard. Okay, let me just double check that I'm not missing anything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 is 160. He has no resistance, no psychic resistance. So first, I'm going to use Teammates, get the double colorless energy and a Lysandre potentially in my hand. Actually, Lysandre is priced, so I'm going to get the DCE and the Battle Compressor. I'm not going to attach the DCE because of the fear of him having a potential enhanced hammer or something like that. So I am going to conserve it, but I should have the KO pretty easily. I'm just gonna double check. There's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 times 20 is 180, so that is more than enough for Night March to one-hit KO this Yveltal. And this should be game, because I might get the Lysandre off of my prizes, I get a Sycamore and the DCE. So yeah, I have enough resources, and he's down to 4 prizes where he would be forced pretty much to KO back-to-back Shamans to potentially win this match. I guess getting rid of the stadium is a way, but I can just retreat and attack with Joltik. So there's no way he can Lysandre now, the Shaman, so at most he will draw 1 prize if he gets like some sort of way to retreat and attach an energy and things like that. So yeah, this game is over, 100% completely over. Because I get to keep my hand, he didn't play any sort of judge. He countered the stadium, but I have the DCE and I can retreat easily because Pumpkaboo retreats for 2 energy. There is no way my opponent can do anything at all in order to get back into this game. Nothing at all. So supposedly dark decks have a good matchup against Night March, but it's not 100% sure, you know. Okay, so my opponent actually got the perfect hand. He got the Floatstone, he got the Darkness, and he got the Yveltal to KO the Pumpkaboo. So that can potentially change things, but the fact that we now have our DCE from our discard pile, we have another attacker in Joltik, we are going to KO 100% this Yveltal, and we even have the Fighting Fury Belt to prevent a KO from Shaman. So, I can Teammates to thin out my deck, but I'm going to conserve the Verse Seeker for now. Just gonna Night March and do like 400 damage to that poor, 420 damage to that poor Yveltal, and I don't get the Lysandre off of my prizes. So this definitely makes me consider a second Lysandre, because that would have made it so I won the game earlier, but I guess it's not 100% mandatory. And yeah, there's nothing he can do right now. He's going to versus Seeker for a Sycamore most likely. Yep, there's a Sycamore. So maybe he gets the Megaphone and a Darkness and draws another prize. It doesn't change anything. I have my TCG. And the Fighting Fury Belt will not save the Yveltal, because it's not going to have 430 HP. That's for sure. And my opponent is just now wasting both of our times now. So there's the Ultra Ball. Yep. So he's trying to deck himself, I guess. I'm just here waiting for him to pass the turn. Oh boy. So this will conclude today's video, guys. This updated version of Night March with Puzzle of Time is definitely, like, I think it's really strong. I definitely think you guys, like, when you guys see this video, the weekend 1 of states will already have happened, and I will have already played at regional championships. So the championship count down here might actually be outdated. I hope it'll be outdated. But yeah, I'm sure you will be seeing this deck throughout Swiss rounds and in a lot of top tables and top cuts. So be aware, test against it, and make sure your deck can handle it, because I think this deck will show up in big numbers. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you guys very much for watching. Please leave a like on the video if you enjoyed. Please check out bitcultures.com. It's a really, really nice website, and I'm sure you will find something that will interest you there, because they have a ton of great content on a lot of subjects. And yeah, that will be all, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye bye.